Hi, my name is Adele, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am a 30-something who lives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I am an executive producer by day, and by night I am a blogger. I write for myself as well as for Pop Sugar, and I also guest star on some podcasts. I am very excited to get started with my brand new YouTube channel. This is my very first video. I am going to be covering lots and lots of stuff, everything from like the home buying process to dealing with bipolar 2 disorder, as well as just like my day-to-day as an executive producer and writer. But this particular video is going to focus it's going to focus completely on my weight loss journey. Currently, I am in the process of losing weight. This is the billionth time that I've tried to lose weight, and I am going to stick with it this time. And I figure if I have you guys follow along on my journey, then we can kind of do this together. I think there's a lot of people who would appreciate the content, and there's a lot of people that I would appreciate the support from. So I am going to take it away. I have struggled with my weight for pretty much all of my life. My mom was overweight. My dad, not so much, but he was a big guy, pretty muscular, pretty bulky. So I was just kind of born into weight. And I've tried in the past to lose weight. This is honestly the biggest that I've been, and it's quite concerning. I am 286 pounds. I have, like I said, never been this big before, and it sits weird on my body. Like, I have really heavy boobs. I've got a big butt, and then I've got like a not a little belly, but like a belly going. It's definitely overweight for my height. I do have a lot of muscle under here. I'm a pretty strong girl, but at the end of the day, what the scale says and what my clothes say really affects how I feel about myself. So I am just on this process. I'm on this journey. In the past, I've tried Atkins, I've tried going vegan, I've tried Weight Watchers, as well as tracking my macros, and then some other things that I've done on my own, like intermittent fasting and things like that. But I'm currently tracking my macros with a trainer, which has been really, really awesome. She's also been helping me with a couple other things in terms of like working out and stretching that I'm currently working on. The diets that have worked for me in the past were complete veganism, as well as tracking everything that I was eating while vegan through Weight Watchers. That means I completely got rid of eggs, I got rid of dairy, I got rid of meat, pretty much anything you can think of that would, honey, anything that you could think of that would fall under the vegan category, I did. It really worked, but I missed things like fish and shrimp, so I added that back into my diet, and then I added like chicken wings back into my diet, which I can't give up. I mean, I probably could now, but at that point, once after a year hit, I went back into it. As for seafood, I absolutely love seafood. I could not ever give that up, I don't think. Now that I've gotten it back, I can't lose it again. So I am trying to keep more of a pescatarian style diet. I do love steak. I couldn't eat steak every single day. I don't really like chicken breast. I think chicken has the ability to get really dry, and I just don't like it. So I try to avoid grilled chicken at all costs. And then for other meats, I don't really eat pork. I just try to eat as much clean protein as possible. So again, my steaks, my fish, my shrimp. I do like to eat some vegan meals still. I really like a good tofu scramble. I have been recently making a broccoli Reuben. So that's just getting rid of, the corned beef of a Reuben and putting roasted broccoli in its place, and it's really, really, really good. So, just trying to find substitutions like that, I'll still do and work on. One thing I know that I really have to fix in order to lose weight is my social drinking. I don't really drink when I'm on my own. I won't necessarily like end my day and go for a glass of wine or a beer or a White Claw or anything like that. I pretty much just drink when I'm around people. I will definitely drink champagne, and I can definitely drink some White Claws, but I know that that's a problem. I know that that's something I have to fix, because once you start drinking alcohol, it's really hard to get rid of it, especially because alcohol is so carby. It's all carbs. And so if I don't track them ahead of time in my Fitness Pal, then I don't realize like what all I'm putting into my body. So what I'm doing right now, like I said, is tracking my macros. I am working with that trainer who is helping me do some stretches. I have a very bad lower back issue. It actually was brought on a lot by working out. So I have a lot of like lower back problems and sciatic problems to begin with. A ton of that has to do with like the heaviness of my chest and everything that I'm, constantly leaning forward. I'm trying to work on my balance. I don't, one side of my body is weaker than the other, so I just have some issues with strength. And so when I push my body too hard, the muscles like push on the sciatic nerve, which just then causes pain down through my entire spine and my leg, and it really hurts like in the butt area. So my trainer's been helping me do quite a few stretches from home. Before COVID, I was going to the gym and I was going to yoga classes and kind of stretching out everything there, but life has since changed, so I can't necessarily do the things that I was accustomed to doing. Was doing Peloton for a little bit, the bike, and I really, really liked it. It made me feel really good, but a big problem with that was that I was leaning over so much on the bike that my back was starting to activate and really hurt again. So I just got a Peloton treadmill. I've been trying to do at least 30 minutes a day. Typically that includes like a 10-minute warm up or cool down, and then like a 20 to 30-minute class. That's kind of been helping me focus on my cardio again and making sure that I wear my watch so I can calculate all of my steps and things like that. So I'm trying to do all of that. I'm trying to track my macros. If you guys don't know what those are the macronutrients that you are basically allotting yourself every single day. Those are carbohydrates, proteins, and fats that you're really focusing on, as well as hitting a calorie count. So your calories might not be 1,200 calories a day. They might be something like 1,400 or 1,600 or something like that. But what you're really focusing on are hitting those certain macros in terms of your carbs, fats, and proteins. So depending on what your goals are for losing weight, you might have a higher carb and protein goal to hit than you do fats. If you're trying to gain weight, it might be protein and fats over carbs. So a lot of times when people are talking about doing keto and things like that, they're cutting carbs out almost completely and only getting carbs through vegetables and very limited fruits, which I think is like really unhealthy, because you have to have carbs, right? Like vegetables are so good for your diet. Vegetables are so good for you. So you have to be able to include those in your diet. Fruits are high in sugar, so while a fruit might have low carbs, it might be really high in sugar, and so while you're eating that snack, you're not really feeling satisfied and full because you're just filling up on sugar and sweets. So vegetables, don't get rid of. Carbs, don't get rid of, especially whole grains such as brown rice and like rye, wheat bread, things like that. So I eat that. I do substitute some of my major carbs for things that are higher in protein. So because I'm losing weight, I have higher carbs and proteins to hit every day. Protein is really hard for me to hit, so I've been trying to substitute some things, like instead of using regular pasta, I'll use Bonza pasta, which is just chickpea pasta. That still has carbohydrates in it, but it's not as high as eating like your regular pasta would be. And then I'm also getting protein from that because chickpeas have a lot of protein. I like Premier protein shakes. Those are really yummy. Those have been helping me a lot. Quest protein chips. Those also have a pretty decently regular like carb count, but they're very high in protein and they taste like Doritos. So definitely check those out. Check out the taco flavor as well as the cheesy nacho flavor. Delicious. So good. A bit more of my background. I had this thing happen to me when I was in high school that was a little bit traumatic to my body. I don't really talk about it a lot with a lot of people, just because it's really not their business. So I'm not going to share what it is quite yet with you guys, but just know that I had some hormonal issues after that just kind of like struck my body in a weird way. And it was really hard to lose weight from there, but it's been very easy to gain weight from there. As I got older and I went to college, drinking didn't help. Being on my own and making terrible decisions with food didn't help. I was in a relationship that right now I'm so grateful for him, but at the time it was very toxic and it just wasn't any good for my health. And so that didn't help me very much in the weight department either. Once I graduated, that's when I started to become more vegan. I lived at home, so my mom was making a lot of stuff and she was just kind of like in control of what the menu looked like, and she was trying to lose weight, so it really helped me. It really did. I lucked out in that department, and now I'm kind of on my own and I go crazy. After that, I lost a lot of weight. I moved to Pittsburgh, and that's when I started to gain weight again. I think a lot of it had to do with the being on my own. I was drinking a lot more. I was also very depressed being away from home. I had a roommate who we had a lot of fun together, but my roommate was like a lot smaller than me, so our eating habits were very different. And like I tried to keep up, but not their fault at all. I just tried to eat like they did, and it didn't work out for me. In fact, like ordering pizza, who'd have thunk, ordering pizza like 2 times a week wasn't necessarily good for my body. But, that's since changed. I don't live with a roommate. A big traumatic thing that happened to me in 2018, at the beginning of the year, my mom passed away. And those who know me know that my mom was like my absolute best friend, and she had gone through a lot of health issues from when I graduated college on. And I was taking care of her when I lived in Erie, and she just, again, had a lot of health issues, and it was something that I wish it didn't happen when it happened, but I suppose that, everyone's time on earth comes to an end, and God decided that her time was January of 2018. So that hit me really hard. I became really depressed. I had to start going to counseling, and I had to start seeing like a psychiatrist too, because I just went into this depression that I really couldn't get out of, where I wasn't eating, which you would think that would be like, oh my gosh, girl, you're doing it, you're losing weight because you're not eating, but like that's not a good thing for your body either. And to let depression and grief get the best of you is so painful, and it's so terrifying. So I started to see someone about that, and that's when I started to get on depression medicine as well as bipolar 2 medicine. It was through counseling that I discovered that I not only have depression, I have bipolar 2 disorder. So when I'm depressed, I'm very depressed, and when I'm out of it, I'm very manic and overly like excited, and I tend to binge more in more ways than just eating whenever I'm in like a manic high. All of these factors have really played into my weight gain. So there needs to be some factors that help with my weight loss. Whether that is continuing with, exercising every day, whether that's continuing my macros. I just want to be able to lose weight. My goal weight, I don't even have one. My goal weight is to just lose weight. So I'm hoping that I can continue to do that through this channel, through this support. I will be doing some challenges starting in November where I am going to be cutting back on drinking. I'm going to be exercising a lot more and taking you guys along with me. And I'm also going to be showing you some of the recipes that I make. I think it'll be really fun, and I'm excited for you guys to be here. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for not judging me. I'm going to go ahead and say thank you for not judging me, because I truly hope you are not, because judging someone for their weight or physical appearance or any type of disability is fucked up. So that's it. That is my video number 1. Thank you for sticking around this entire time. I hope to God that you guys got to know me a little bit better and that this video wasn't a total and complete waste of your time. And I'm so excited to get started and have you follow along with me on my journey. Oh, I'm excited. Bye.